Thank you for joining me in Frugal Willie Mae's office today. I want to update you on what's been happening since I last posted a video, and it has been a very long time. About 6 or 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with the beginnings of cataracts, and I knew that eventually would have to be addressed. I went along for a long time without having any issues. I could drive, I could read, I could do computer work. But I started noticing that there was more vision loss going into the end of 2021. When I went into the grocery stores, I couldn't see the signs over the aisles, and I always took a little magnifying glass to read the fine print, which if it's really fine, I still take a magnifying glass to read. Fast forward to March of 2022. I'm putting makeup on in front of my mirror, and I see blood on the mirror. And I took a cloth, was going to wipe it off, and I'm just wiping away, and the blood's still there. Then I noticed that it's changing and it's getting wispy. When it's wispy, it's going across my vision. And it took me a little while to figure out what was going on. Because if I look to the right, if I look to the left, if I look up, if I look down, that wispy blood followed me, and it was ever changing. The looks of it. It was in my eye for a good while. I don't know the exact time because I'm still kind of in shock. Whenever it dawns on me, oh my gosh, that's blood. That's not on your mirror. I'm like, oh my gosh. My first thought was, this is diabetic retinopathy. My late husband had diabetic retinopathy, and that's bleeding behind the eye, and he had to have 9 laser surgeries by a specialist in Nashville, Tennessee. It did eventually stop, but it was a long process. I thought, no, I hope I don't have that. That's terrible. Could be a lot worse, though. My other thought was, what if you lose your vision? I did not want to lose my vision. I had the phone number and name of a doctor in Nashville that did eye surgery, and I called that number to make an appointment to see if she might be able to see me. The number that I reached was with the Vanderbilt Eye Institute. They have specialists for different eye issues. Found out that particular doctor that was recommended didn't do the type of work for my eye. The lady that I spoke to, she gave me 3 numbers that I could call that could possibly see me on that day that I had called in. I picked one of them. It was the one that I needed because he was really good, Dr. Chom. And he saw me that early that afternoon because I found the bleed that morning. I get a family member to drive me up there. When we first go in, Dr. Chom's associates or his staff starts doing testing. And they did many different tests, looked in my eye, checked my eye pressure, and then they take me back to, one of them takes me back to a machine, and it takes pictures in the eye. And after she did one set of pictures, she says, I'll be right back. And she goes maybe to talk with Dr. Chom. She comes back and she says, we need to take another set of pictures just to make sure everything came out right. So they took the second set of pictures. Then we were shown back to the room. In a little while, Dr. Chom comes in and speaks to us, and he also looks in the eye, and he says, I do want y'all to come back. I want to show you what's happening in your eye. He took us back to that machine where they took the 2 sets of pictures. And he shows us, and I'm telling you, technology is fantastic. It shows everything in my eye. He says, you're very lucky. You have very strong veins. I thought, well, maybe all the carrots I've been eating has helped. Whatever it was, I was glad to have strong veins. That was a positive, right? But then he shows me, he says, you've had this for a while. This is bleeding in the eye. And I realized that some of the things that he showed me, he says, you don't have bleeding behind the eye. What you have is central retinal vein occlusion. It looks like it's healing itself, which is another positive. And I'm thinking, okay, that's good. I can handle that. I'm not going to lose my vision. We talked for a while. We go back to the room, and he says, we have to keep an eye out for it, for what's going on in your eye to make sure it is healing. And he did want me to come back within like a month's time, I believe, like 4 weeks. He saw me 4 weeks, then he saw me in 6 weeks, and 8 weeks, and then 12 weeks, and so on. On that very first visit, I had asked Dr. Chom, I said, well, can I go ahead and have my cataract surgery? I said, I was told I had beginnings of cataracts and I could tell my vision's worse. He says, well, no, you can't do that until we know this is healed up in your left eye. I said, after that, then you can have the cataract surgery. And he said, we can recommend one of the associates or fellows, they call them fellows, in the Eye Institute. And I go into the appointment with Dr. Tran. She checks my eyes and to see what's going on. We talk about different cataract surgeries and the different lens replacement. I ended up getting a lens replacement that hopefully it had like a 95% chance of not having to wear glasses at all. And I chose that one. So that's why I don't have my glasses on any longer. I've been very, very fortunate that it has worked so far. I don't need glasses to read or drive or anything like that. I still have to have the magnifying glasses for the tiny, tiny, tiny print. But people that have 20/20 vision probably have to have the same thing. So the first eye surgery, Dr. Tran says, was we're going to do your right eye first. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, my left eye's what's bad. But I didn't say anything. I thought, well, you're the doctor and you know which is best. And it was the correct thing to do. So I have that first cataract surgery, lens replacement, and it's also to remove the astigmatism in my eye. And I wanted that gone if possible. Before I had that lens replacement, Dr. Chom did tell me on the front end, she said, you'll never be able to see as good out of the left eye, because when you had that bleed in your eye, it did damage to the eye. And we can only make it as good as we can make it. And so I accepted that because I could still see out of my left eye. She schedules the first lens replacement. I'm terrified. I don't want to do this because I'd already heard that you have to stay awake during that lens replacement. And I'm really scared. And I told her, I said, the only thing that bothers me is holding my eye open for that length of time. She said, well, we have things that will keep your eye open, help keep your eye open. They get me all prepped and I'm like almost not hyperventilating, but I am fearful. And I just feel like I've got a tightness in my chest, and so I don't hear very well, so I can hear mumblings around me. But I asked one of the nurses, I says, is this normal? I says, it's like I can't hardly breathe. And I could hear Dr. Tran. She wasn't real close to me, but she says, no, that's not normal. So she comes over and talks to me, and I realize I've got to calm myself down. So I started just trying to relax, deep breathing, whatever I could do. And she holds my hand, and she says, now, do you still want to have this surgery? I said, yes, I want to go ahead and have it. I'm here. I'm ready. They had already put the thing over my eye. That there's this thing that they put over, a bandage that kind of opens your eye, sort of, kind of. And they had done eye drops in my eye. So I wasn't going to stop then. And I didn't realize until she started this, trying to remove the cataract, that you can actually see through that. You can't see clearly, but you can see them moving, see her moving the instrument across my eye. And the surgery took longer than normal. In fact, my family members were getting very concerned because they hadn't heard anything. And it ended up that she said after the surgery, the cataract was really hard. It was a hard cataract, and they had to do whatever they had to do to get it softer, to get it off of there. They did the lens replacement, and you can see they pull that bandage off, and then they put this thing on your eye that's got little holes in it, so you can see after you do the cataract surgery, the lens replacement. And I'm thinking, well, this is an experience. So all went well with that. And at the end, this was in the 1st of August, I believe. The end of August is when I had the left eye done. And the left eye was a lot, not as fearful, and it wasn't as long a surgery, I didn't feel like, but it may be because I kind of knew what was going to happen. Nonetheless, we got the lens replacements on, and right now I'm just enjoying the fact that I can see without glasses. I still have trouble wanting to put my glasses on and take them off because I've lived so long with glasses on my face. So that has been a very interesting challenge to get used to. That's what's been happening in my world. And I hope you understand why I haven't been back on the YouTube, but I hope to begin posting relatively often. I do want to thank each and every one of my faithful followers, all those subscribers that have been with me from the get-go, all that have come along the way, and all the new subscribers. I love each and every one of you, and I do thank you so much for supporting this channel. I am hopeful that everything will go well, and I will be posting a video hopefully every week. I do hope y'all have a most beautiful, wonderful day. I hope the end of the year is a great time for you, and I do pray blessings over each and every one of you. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and may God bless you and keep you, and may His face shine upon you.